Okay, what are you saying, people? How are you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Hey, William, how are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing? Yeah, sure. I'll take a look at pound AUD for you. Yeah, last Friday was crazy. There was a massive volatility in the markets. I mean, JPY pairs, USD pairs, CAD pairs. Every single pair really was having a free fall, either up or down. I know a lot of the JPY pairs were falling out of the sky. CAD JPY, that was a hefty fall. As you can see there, massive drop. So yeah, the markets last Friday, because it was a bit of a slow week, price wasn't moving too much, and then Friday, everything kind of just happened in one go. So yeah, that was a crazy move on Friday there. But yeah, guys, hope you're all doing well. I mean, I forgot to do the intro. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Like always, guys, check out the Telegram channel if you want to see any trading setups. Feel free to go check that out, and also check out the recommended broker as well. If you're looking for any different brokers, my affiliate links there as well. Feel free to go check that out. Hey, Kyrie, I think that's how you say the name. I'm not too sure, but welcome to the stream, bro. Hey Lewis, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hey Mohammed, welcome to the stream. Oh, Omicron. Yeah, sure, no problem, William. Happy to sell it for you to give you some liquidity so the market can go in your direction. I do that for my subscribers all the time. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. So yeah, guys, if there's any pairs you guys are looking at, feel free to leave it in the chat. We'll take a look at it for you. Any pairs you're looking at, what time frame you're looking at, feel free to leave it in the chat. We'll take a look at it, see what's going on. There's a few pairs that I'm looking at to trade for today, if not today, for the rest of the week, if we can get a setup. But yeah, I do have a few pairs I have my eye on. Pound AUD, yeah, I was selling this one last week. I did get out the trade before the massive move to the upside, so I did save myself some pips there. Kind of got out around break-even level. But yeah, I was selling the pair always since over here. Actually, it was the week before I was selling the pair. So I stayed in pretty much for all of that sideways price action there, which was very annoying. Price wasn't going up or down. But then yeah, I just said if price was to respect this support level again, I would just exit the trade, and it did it over here, and that's why I got out the trade around here. And then yeah, moved sideways a little bit more, and then massive move to the upside for pound AUD. So yeah, pound AUD, big move to the upside there. Still looking bullish. I think this pair, because it's broken through this area now, and I think pound AUD is going to slowly make its way to this area. It might retrace for us, come back down, and then push on. But for me, pound AUD, I think is going to continue with this bullish trend here for a little bit, coming back until 1.89500. So I'm waiting for a pullback for this one back onto this level to buy it. I'm not too sure if we will, but for me, I think that's where price is headed to. So yeah, onwards and upwards. It looks for pound AUD. Maybe we might get some retrace, because we've seen a little bit of retracement, not much. So that retracement might come in potentially, but momentum is looking still strong to the upside. So yeah, pound AUD, I'm expecting price to continue. But yeah, Euro USD, we've seen some crazy upside momentum last week and coming into this week as well. Big push to the upside from 1.12, nice psychological level. Back down here, we found support there, big push up, retracement. I did say as well that potentially we could see a bounce from here. Price did respect it, and we did see that move to the upside. So Euro USD is looking bullish now, and I think potentially price might be going for some retracement of all of this bearish candles here. Again, we broke through this support here on the left, and we never came back for the retest. And more often than not, you do see price come back for the retest. It might, break through a level, go do some crazy movements, but eventually, especially in Forex, price kind of retraces itself almost all the time. So we do expect Eurusd to come up there. It might fall down before it does happen, but I do expect Eurusd to come up here in the recent days or recent weeks. So next few weeks, I mean. So yeah, I'm looking for buys for EURUSD. You've seen a nice push to the upside there. We're coming into this area here, which was our last kind of major swing high. So I won't be looking to buy EURUSD now. We're coming into 1.13600. You can see this was our last, dump to the downside, pull back, and then we have that next dump. So potentially this could actually send the market back down. So I'm waiting for either two things for EURUSD, for us to break above this level, come back, retest it, and we'll look to go long and fill that daily retest of that level up there, or we retrace the downside and then we look to go long from somewhere when we form a higher low, maybe at this support, or maybe down there. I'm not too sure. We'll wait for that pullback to happen, but I'm looking to play off that level for EURUSD. We did see some nice upside, so I'm seeing if we can break through that, retest it, and then go long. Probably look at the hourly chart for some long opportunities, but if we do retrace back, that's cool. We'll look for long opportunity as well. But bullish momentum is definitely coming back in. You can see for the DXY, we're looking a little bit bearish now. Again, for the DXY, I'm expecting price to come down. So I do expect to see some USD weakness coming into the markets now. Simply as retracement, you can see we broke through this level, no retest. So EURUSD, DXY pretty much in sync. I'm expecting a push back into this level for the DXY. So again, I'm expecting quite a bit downside for these pairs, USD pairs as well. Well, USD pairs to the upside, DXY down. So we'll see what happens there, but obviously we've seen a quite aggressive move here, so we need to see some retracement before we can look to get into any trades, if you're not in any trades already. Pound JPY, sure thing, we'll take a look at pound JPY for you. So yeah, pound JPY, nice sell-off to the downside last week. Last week we're looking at sells for this one. I personally traded AD JPY instead of pound JPY because again, both JPY pairs, I didn't want to overtrade the JPY pairs too much and expose my account too much. So I just traded AD JPY, but I did say last week that you don't need to trade all the JPY pairs, just pick the best one and trade it, because they're most likely all will fall together or all rise together, and as you can see, they all did fall together. So yeah, pound JPY, massive dump to the downside. I was looking for some retracement back into this level here. I'm not sure if we will get that back into this level, so we can look the market to sell off again. You can see we're looking quite bearish right now. If I jump to the hourly time frame, price is looking quite bearish right now. It looks like we've just taken out this prior low here on the left. As you can see, we've wicked through it a few times. Price is holding back against it. So potentially we could see that retracement happen still, push into there and then sell off. But for me, my overall target for pound JPY, if we go in the daily chart, is still to these lows down here. So I'm still expecting downside for pound JPY. It's just up to the market whether we take that fall or we retrace first and then take the fall. So yeah, it depends what the market wants to do. If the market breaks back underneath this level here, you can drop probably to like the 30-minute, 15-minute, look for break and retest of that and get some shorts. Or if we find support here, we can look at some resistance higher up, preferably around 152,400, and then look to sell it back down after that. But yeah, I'm mainly looking for sales. I'm not too bothered with buyers for pound JPY. I do understand that the market probably wants to retrace that, so there might be some intraday buys on the lower time frames, but again, that's not really the way I look to trade. So I'll wait for the market to retrace for me and then look to sell it back down. Or the break and retest could be a nice option for the lower time frames as well. But pound JPY, my bias is to the downside. I still do have that daily target in place. You can look for buys, yes. There's nothing wrong with looking for buys if we probably see a bit more rejection of that support. There could be some nice buys to the upside. You can see we've closed back above this level here and price starting to put some wicks to the downside. So if you see a shift in momentum, that could be a nice long signal. But you will be up against momentum and up against the trend, so to speak. So a little bit more of a risky trade, but price normally does retrace when it does have massive moves. So I do expect to see the market retrace up. Like I said, personally, I'll be getting ready for the sell rather than take the buys. But again, it's up to you how you want to trade it. But for me, I'm still expecting a test of 150 for pound JPY, so I can see a bit more downside for that pair. Pound USD, well, read my mind, just went on pound USD right now. Yeah, pound USD, big push to the upside for this one as well. We're coming into, or we might have just broken a very key level of resistance slash supply. You can see here the market being pushing into this level, failing to break through, and has had a tough time breaking through this. However, just this morning we've closed above quite strongly as well. So again, pound USD is also showing good signs that potentially price could be getting ready to reverse and see some upside. And if I do jump to the 4H and drag this level across, you can see it also lines up with that support there as well, and the 4H we closed above. So basically for pound USD, we're looking for some retracement, retest, and the continuation back to the upside. And if that does play out, we could be looking for a push back up to 1.35, which is this previous swing high up there. So for me, pound USD looks like it's forming a little bit of a bottom here, slowing down momentum, putting some nice wicks to the upside, giving us a kind of nice bowl shape. And I'm expecting price to show some bullish momentum to the upside, and also come a little bit more in sync with the DXY. As you can see, that downside momentum, obviously seeing that US dollar weakness, so potentially pound USD can find that momentum in the opposite direction. So for me, pound USD is looking good for buys. I prefer Euro USD a little bit more, slightly cleaner in the price action. But like I said, with the JPY pairs, you know, these USD pairs, they do move the same way, maybe at slightly different speeds because of the strength of the currencies. But if Euro USD is going to see that bullish move to the upside, you know, 9 times out of 10, pound USD is going to do it as well. So just pick the best pair with the best price action or best risk to reward, and just trade that pair. But yeah, pound USD for me, break and retest of that could be a nice long opportunity. You know, depending how you want to play it, I can see a push to 1.35. Obviously quite a big push there, but there's some, you know, numerous levels on the left here you can look to trade to if you want to, instead of 1.35 up there. But yeah, pound USD for me is looking bullish, potentially a bottom there at 1.33. If we can get a break and retest of that, I can see some nice continuations back into 1.35. Hey Chia, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Buying GU and USD Cad, nice. Well, just speaking on GU, I'm expecting GU to continue that move to the upside. We've seen a nice push there this morning for pound, breaking above this 1.33500. Nice psychological level as well. So if you can start putting some wicks to the downside now, you can see we're throwing wicks to the upside over here. So if we can do the opposite, confirm that as support, could be some nice additional entries or some you know, entries there for pound USD to get this long. Like I said, I'm focusing Euro USD, but you know, they both will probably do the same move as well. And USD Cad, we'll take a look at USD Cad, see what's happening with this pair. Okay, so USD Cad looking bullish as well. Again, USD Cad did take quite a big hit to the downside last week. I did say for USD Cad, I will be looking for sells for this pair back up at this area. So if you can get a push into there, look to sell it back down into 0.86, which is where I see price going. So yeah, I think we're going to see some retracement. This is clearly an impulsive leg here. I think we're going to see some retracement to the upside. So and normally, again guys, when we do see that massive impulsive moves, we do expect price to retrace at least some of it, at least halfway to 0.50, and then fall over. But yeah, USD Cad looking bullish. It looks like we're just about holding on to this area of support there, forming a higher low. Nice momentum shift there. And yeah, if we can break through this resistance on the left here for USD Cad, I would say it's onwards and upwards back up to that support zone resistance at 0.87700. So yeah, I'm looking to sell it back down. So hopefully, for my sake and your sake, price does go up back at that area, and then yeah, we'll be looking for sells. But yeah, break and retest of that does look good. Momentum does look good. So if we can break through this resistance here on the left, we should be seeing that push to the upside happen. Think about AU and USD possible buy too. Yeah, AD and NSD massive moves to the downside last week, and there are my watch list for buys as well, because these are some crazy moves to the downside. You can see NSD USD pretty much fell out the sky really all the way from out those highs. So I do expect to see some buying opportunities for these pairs. Again, we do have to take into account that the market is bearish, and if we are buying this, we are buying it up against higher time frame momentum. So be a bit cautious with these ones. These are the type of moves that again do stop a lot of people out, because they see the trend coming down, they start buying, and price just keeps moving lower and lower. So we definitely need to wait for some confirmations for this one. But yeah, as the USD is at a nice daily zone, and I will be looking for buys. I think a nice break and retest of this high could be good. As you can see here, we put some nice wicks into that. So if you do break above that, that could be a nice buy signal. Retest, look for some continuations from that level. A little bit more aggressive, there is this support here on the left, so potentially if we can pull back, because this potentially is a double bottom here. First test there, second test there, spiking through, grabbing some liquidity, and we're seeing that momentum shift there to the upside. So if you can push back into this support here, put some wicks there, that could be a higher low for the move to the upside. Or like I said, the safer option would be the break and retest of that high. But yeah, for me, as the USD, AUD/USD, Euro/USD, Pound/USD, I do expect to see some upside for those pairs. Not exactly reversals, but at least retracement, because they've had some crazy moves down, and now we do expect to go up. That saying, what goes up must come down, and vice versa. And AU as well, I do expect is pretty much the same thing for AUD/USD as the USD as well. Go in the daily time frame, very bearish moves. Again, overall I do expect price to continue lower, but I do expect price to retrace a little bit first, and then come down maybe into this area here on the left, maybe even further. But we are holding this support here. So yeah, looking for those buys. I think NZD/USD looks a little bit better for me, in my opinion anyway, so I probably prefer that pair. But if I do get a setup in Euro/USD, I probably will leave them both out. USD CAD sell, what about that? We'll take a look at USD CAD, see what's happening with USD CAD. Okay, so USD CAD on my weekly analysis, I have been talking about this pair for potential sells. So yeah, I have had my eyes for sells for USD CAD for this one, mainly because we've had this crazy move to the upside, and we're coming back into a very key level of resistance supply. You can see price has had a tough time breaking through this major high here. We spiked into this high, came down, did it again. We did break through, closed above, however it was a massive fake out, came back again, tried to break through, massive fake out, came back again, and now we're back into that same area, holding 1.28, really nice psychological level. So I do think USD CAD can see some downside, especially with DXY looking like it is right now. USD is seeing some weakness, so I do expect USD CAD to be affected. So I'm expecting some downside for USD CAD based on what the daily is doing. We also do have a little bit of a trend line there. Again, nothing too major, this just these wicks there, so that could provide some resistance as well. But going on to the lower time frames, going to the hourly time frame. Okay, so we've got this resistance here on the hourly time frame for the highs. You can see price tested once, twice, third time, and a fourth time. So yeah, I think USD CAD will be looking good for sells. Slightly aggressive to short this pair as of right now, simply because the market is still bullish, and we're shorting at the highs. The safest option would be wait for a break of these lows and then get short. But in terms of risk to reward, it does look good. That is a nice shift in momentum there. You can see on the hourly candle there, we had a big push to the upside. I think that was during the Asian session, yeah. And then we had those dojis there, 1, 2. And then we had this another push to the upside. And again, what the market does a lot of the time is, it fakes to go one way and then it goes the other way, and vice versa. And as you can see with momentum here, again, a lot of people will be buying that, especially above these highs. It faked out, closed bearish, and now we're seeing that momentum come through. So yeah, it is looking like Usd Cad will push this. Like I said, it is just a little bit aggressive though, because of where we are in the market and how bullish it is. But I do agree Usd Cad sells will be looking good. So a potential break and retest of that would be a really nice entry. If that was to happen, of course, we might turn bullish from there. But if you can get a break and retest of that, I definitely will be looking at sells from here to take that back into these lows, maybe even further as well, depending how strongly the daily reacts with 1.28. But yeah, really nice psychological level. The market's struggling to break through this, so I do agree with that. And DXY is looking bearish as well, so you have some nice correlation there. So yeah, I do agree with that one. I do agree with some Usd Cad shorts. Okay, so you find it useful, that's good. At least you're finding some benefit from it. But I will be doing more type of those videos incoming. I'm doing another video that will be dropping this week about key level zones and how to read candlestick patterns with levels, resistance, support, supply and demand. Because again, I do see a lot of people I do see a lot of people like having nice support levels and resistance in the market, but not being able to read the price action properly. Like bearish engulfings, bullish engulfings are all great, but they can't all be used in certain scenarios. Like for example, if I've got a daily level of resistance up here, and I'm saying, and prices come into that level, and then I drop to say the 15-minute time frame, and then I enter a 50-minute time frame bearish engulfing, the chances are that is gonna fail. It's a daily zone. What's the chance of that 15-minute bearish engulfing is gonna sustain that level and then suddenly bounce off? So the way people trade is that it fails 5-6 times just to work on the 7th time or something like that. So I will be doing a video explaining how to really understand how candlesticks work with levels and how to read them, also how to trade them as well. So yeah, I will be posting that video this week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm glad you found that video useful. And guys, if you do have any suggestions for videos as well, if there's a certain topic you're struggling on, or you want my opinion on, feel free to leave it in the chat and I'll take a look at it for you. And yeah, get a video out for you. But GA short problem, and yeah, pound JPY. So yeah, GA, like I was saying for this one, overall I'm expecting a move to the upside for GA back up to 1.89500, because we've broken through this key daily zone here on the left. We've broken above that, so just keeping it really simple here. We've got a significant low here, significant high up there. Price was either going to hold this, come back to lows, or break above, and if it can stay above, it will probably come back to this high here at 1.89500. So overall, my bias for pound AUD is bullish. I'm expecting price to come back to these highs here, but just because I'm bullish on the daily doesn't mean price has to go there straight away. It can definitely come back down first, mess around, consolidate before that move happens. But that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. So pound AUD recently, nice consolidation, broke to the upside. I'm expecting price to come down and have some retracement, but I will be looking for buys around this zone here. If I just clear this up. Yes, I will be looking for buys at the retest of this consolidation, because we never got the retest of it. We broke through yesterday. I was looking for price to come a little bit low and test this area, but it failed to do so. Push to the upside, so hopefully we can see some retracement for pound AUD back into the zone here, and then from there we'll be looking for buys, or at least a double bottom at this level here. If we do see some nice price action at the level above, I'll still look for buys, but preferably if you can come back, retest this area, because this consolidation will now be acting as the demand. So if price can step into that, there will be some nice buys. But yeah, pound AUD coming back into those highs there. Hopefully we can see some downside for that one, and then I can see price heading a lot higher. But yeah, looking for some retracement. You can look for sells. It's a little bit aggressive, those sells. I'm not saying it can't come down, of course, but But yeah, price is definitely better. So that's not really an opportunity I would look to take. I would wait for price to come down and then take the buys, or at least, you know, put a lower high in and then I'll take a sell. But when it's just made some new highs like that, you know, I tend to avoid those sort of setups. No problem, happy to help. Pound JPY as well. Pound JPY. So yeah, pound JPY overall bearish bias for this one. We've broken through that significant low there, that structural low. I'm looking for price to come back into here. This was the last time price found support before it gave us this crazy move to the upside. So I think price might just come back into 150 and test that area again. So I'm expecting price to come into those areas. I was looking for a retracement back into this zone here, so support and resistance at 152,400. Didn't quite see that retracement yesterday. The market found some resistance about halfway to that area and is looking bearish already. So price for GJ might just roll over back into this area and then turn bullish. So there potentially actually could be some buys from this zone at 150, nice psychological level. So you can either look for, if you're trading the lower time frames for GJ, you can look for a break and retest of this low here. Price can get underneath that, look to sell it back down and just ride that momentum that we're seeing. Or if you're a bit more of a swing trader, you can wait for price to retrace back up into that zone there and then sell off to the downside, which is obviously this support here taken as resistance, and then sell it back down. So it's up to you, you know, what type of trader you are. If you're look to swing trade, day trade, you know, how many pips you're after. A nice break and retest of that low would look good back down to 150. And then potentially some buys from back there again, but I'm not too sure if we'll see that. We'll judge the price action when we get there. So that's my idea for GJ. Not really interested in buys for this one, more interested in sells. I did miss a really nice sell opportunity on Usd JPY yesterday, which did annoy me a little bit. But again, we've got to keep those emotions under control. So yeah, Usd JPY this is at the top of my watch list really. So you can see here on the weekly, very strong candlestick pattern, price action here. You can see price was finding resistance at this level here at 114,200. We'll put a major wick to the upside, and then last week we had a massive wick to the upside and closed as a bearish shooting star. So for me, bearish shooting stars or bullish hammer candlestick pattern, probably the most powerful price action patterns, I would say, especially on the higher time frames. Engulfing would probably be a close second, but for me, these guys, you know, because they show to us which way the market faked out towards to go the opposite direction, and this here was a major fake out, big wick to the upside, closed really nicely bearish, and you can see on the daily all this price action here got cancelled by that one big bearish candle. So the likelihood of price rolling over to the downside is very high. So I'm not too annoyed, because this is, again, that was the weekly time frame I just showed you, that candlestick pattern. So there will be, you know, multiple opportunities to get into this trade. Obviously the first opportunity would have been, going to 4H, would have been this support here, break and retest, which did miss there. However, you know, there will be more opportunities if we can get a break and retest of that low. A subscriber, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family, I meant to say, but welcome to the stream as well. So yeah, missed that opportunity there, but it doesn't matter. We can get a break and retest of that and go short, or if price decides it wants to retrace back up again, we'll look to go short. But for me, because that happened on the weekly time frame, that means I can expect at least 2-3 weeks of bearish candles, and you can see massive move up. Price could literally just dump and retrace that whole way back down into this support here. So there will probably be a really nice downtrend forming now for Usd JPY. So we'll be getting ready for those shorts. Missed the first opportunity, but like I said, opportunities will be coming through. There might even be another opportunity coming in tomorrow. So no real need to be annoyed, even though, you know, in hindsight, like, I could have got in, could have got the trade, but In hindsight, it doesn't matter too much. At the end of the day, it's not about the trades that you don't take, it's about the trades that you do take actually have an effect, on your profitability, on your outcome. So one to learn from there, but USDJPY definitely on the watch list, still looking for those sells. Hopefully you can get a break and retest or something like that. Gold's been a little bit interesting. We've seen a bit of consolidation here. Price has had a tough time breaking through this area here. You can see this was a fake out there to the upside, fake out to the downside. So price has grabbed liquidity from the upside and grabbed liquidity from the downside. So for me, I had a bullish bias for Bitcoin. Coming into the week, we were testing a very key trend line on the daily time frame. I connect that wick there and that wick there as well. So you can see price 1, 2, 3, 4 as well, and that's actually a really nice candle closure there as well on the daily. You can see we spiked through the trend line and pulled all the way back up, right back above the trend line. So for me, that's giving us a good sign that potentially price is getting ready to turn bullish. And I said targets for gold would be this level of resistance here on the left at 1830, and looking for a retest of that. So for me, the safest entry for gold would be to wait for price to break out again and retest it and then go long. You can look to get long in here, but it's just too choppy. Price action gets a little bit difficult in there, and you could risk price just messing around continuously. So it's best to wait for a break and retest, or you can go long on the break if you're a bit more confident. Personally, that's not really for me. I'll look for the retest, but a break and retest of this high here, would be looking to go long and take a push into that. But for me, I think gold is on its way to the upside, just getting ready. And also, nice confluence. DXY is very, very bearish as well. You can see it's still dropping to the downside. It's still creating new lows there. So DXY is looking very bearish, and when we do see the DXY drop, we do expect gold to be bullish. That hasn't been the best of correlations lately. We've seen gold massive move to the upside whilst DXY was moving up. So that is something to take note of. Gold doesn't always correlate too well with the DXY, but more often than not, it does do that. So hopefully we can see that move up. Nice break and retest, and expect price to continue. EURUSD, okay, we'll take a look at that. Well, for me, right now, I'm expecting DXY to continue down. So for me, EURUSD, I'm looking at getting long. Right now, EURUSD, we did break through very key areas over down here. But the thing about EURUSD is we're coming into a very significant high here. So you can see price had a nice break to the downside, give us some new lows, pull back up, form that high. We came back down again, formed a new low, and now we're back at that same area. So, if we're following textbook structure and how that works, if price does push back into this level here, price could actually send us back down. So we'll be waiting for a break and retest above that, see if we can get some nice wicks to the downside and go long. Because for EURUSD, I'm expecting a test of this support here on the daily, which we never got a retest of. So I think that's where price is going to go and revisit. So for me, I'm looking at price moving into that area, but we do need to get above this, get above that level. There's also a possibility that price might retrace back down and then go up. So, whatever happens, looking to go long for EURUSD, I think it's time that price does start to retrace, pull back. And this looks like price is just putting a really nice, its first higher low. So looking for the next higher low, whether it's break and retest of that, or price decides to pull back, either which one, we'll be looking to go long, and targets will be at 1.15400. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for EURUSD. Usd Cad, so yeah, Usd Cad also expecting some downside for Usd Cad. So yeah, I did say Usd Cad for me looks like it's holding on to that. Again, you can look for sells up here. Depends, what kind of risk appetite you have, because again, we do have to take into account that the market is still overall in a bullish trend here, and shorting the highs is always going to be a slightly risky game. So You can wait for a break and retest of this low for probably the less risky entry and also more probable entry as well, and then get short, because Usd Cad has come into a nice area of resistance, so which is this level here. Really nice level of resistance, supply, sorry. We've tapped back into here at 1.28, so I'm expecting the market to see some downside. Nothing too major, but I think we can have, a pullback at least, 100, 200 pips maybe. So it will be worthwhile for us to look to trade it. And a break and retest of that low would be a really nice opportunity if price was to do that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for USD Cad. I did say shorts do look good there, but it's just, slightly riskier. So it's up to you how you want to trade it. Either break and retest of that, or you can look for shorts here, probably drop into the low time as well, maximize that risk to reward. Good morning, Jay. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone had a good weekend and all that good stuff. Any pairs you're looking at, Jay? Any taking your fancy? Because we've seen some crazy price action last week. I think price is sort of just continuing that into this week, really. Seeing Eurusd have some crazy moves there. Eurusd is definitely a pair I'm looking to trade, so if you can get a break and retest of that, I'm not sure if it will happen today, but if it does, we'll be looking to trade that. But Eurusd is a pair I'm looking to get involved in. USD I'm looking to get involved in this one as well, but did miss an entry up there, so hopefully we'll get another one. Potentially get some shorts, and that one back down to 112, which is, if I go on the, I should go 4H, you can see really nice resistance here. Price broke through this, never got a retest, so still fresh area of resistance, now turn support, and looking for push into 112, nice psychological level as well. So that's what I'm looking at for USD. Hope you can get some retracement on that and then look to sell it back down. Okay, GJ Sculpt, interesting. Looking for buys or sells for GJ, because GJ is kind of just flirting along the lines of that prior low here, which created a 26, so that was last week. So you can see price has been holding on to this low here. It's kind of broken through, broken back above, it's trading alongside of it. So price there hasn't quite decided whether it's going to break through that support or hold it and see some upside. So for me, it's a little bit choppy. It's a little bit choppy for GJ there on the 30-minute. Maybe if we can see a fake out in either direction, a nice break and retest of the level to go up or down, there could be some nice entries there. Either which way, that price action is quite choppy. We do have that bearish momentum, of course. GJ isn't quite in sync with GU right now. GU, we've seen some really nice upside. However, GJ has failed to really give us that move. Yeah, GU did give us some nice wicks there to the downside there during coming into London session. You can see 1, 2, 3 price wick to the downside, faking people out, and then we see the move to the upside. And now we've actually got above a very significant level. So I did say if price can have a nice break and retest of this level here, which was resistance here, resistance, now we'll be turning support. If we can hold on to this, I do think there'll be some nice buys there for GU to take this higher, and potentially 1.35, if you're looking to swing the whole thing back into that prior resistance there. And because we've had a massive dump to the downside, I also think we're coming into contact with a higher time frame trend line, as you can see there, 1, 2, 3. I do think we can see that move back up into 1.35. So again, as a swing trader, I do like to push my trades. Sometimes I will have to cut it short because it doesn't always hit the target, But you know, risk to reward terms, if we can see that push to 1.35, we are looking, you know, 150 pips, very, very healthy there. So yeah, pound USD, if we can stay above 1.33500, we'll be looking for buys there to take that to the upside. Same thing with Euro USD as well. Nice break and retest of that level will be looking good. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Because if we do close back below, you know, we'll be holding as resistance, and that could be a fake out to get people into buying it, just to sell it off again. Because again, the trend is still very bearish here for pound. On the higher time frames, of course, hourly not so bearish anymore. It's kind of a bit choppy now. But if we're going daily, weekly, it's still quite bearish. So we could be seeing fake outs, you know, on the hourly, on the 4H, just to continue on the higher time frame. So I do have to, you know, keep that in mind. But nice break and retest of that. I can see price continue. We do have 7 minutes before that candle does close. So if we do close back below, that would be interesting there. And we might actually see a move in the opposite direction. But if we can pull back up, it will start looking a lot better. But yeah, pound USD, big move to the upside this morning, wick there, and then the move. You normally do see that quite a lot with price action, where we do see some wicks in the opposite direction just to give us the opposite move. You can see yesterday, Pat gave us some nice wicks to the upside there before the move to the downside as well. The market does love a bit of a fake out and then the move. Again, you can probably base a strategy just around that concept, to be fair. But yeah, pound USD looking quite bearish. I don't know if that's pound or USD. I mean, the DXY is looking quite bearish, so it might be pound just be seeing some weakness. Pound AUD struggling to break through as well, coming back into that resistance down the left. Yeah, pound CAD, pound CHF all taking a hit, so we're seeing some weakness across the board really for pound. Yeah, pound NZD could be some nice sells coming actually. I've had my eye on this pair after that big move to the upside. See if we can hold this as resistance now. Haven't quite tested that area, but I think we can still fall. You know, price action isn't perfect. We've missed that by a few pips there. But I think, you know, if you do put in some nice rejection, we could still fall to the downside here. You can see price is struggling to break through this resistance here. You know, it's had one attempt failed, the second attempt failed, third attempt failing as well. Still putting higher highs and higher lows in, so I wouldn't say it's ready to short yet. But if we can see some rejection here and price maybe comes back again, puts a lower high in, you know, there could be some nice sells to the downside for that one. Because we are still expecting NZD to see some strength in for some retracement. So NZD, I do have my eyes on this one as well. Like I said, if you can hold that as support here, there could be some nice buys. You can see previously we're holding that as support for all those wicks. So if you can put some more wicks into this area, we could be seeing a nice push to the upside, and this here could be a nice double bottom fake out. You know, massive sell off there, and now we're looking bullish again. But of course, the safest and most probable entry would be the break and retest of the high, and then getting ready for some longs there to the upside. So, you know, there's multiple entries you could look for NZD USD. Some are safer than others. Obviously, I would recommend the safer options because less likely to lose the trade. Maybe the risk reward is not as good, but you know, at least you will make some profit, or have a better chance of making profit, I should say. So yeah, if we can have a nice retest of that again, it's not just 1 or 2 weeks. You want to see price really start to reject like it did here, or the break and retest, and then you can see some upside, and that could help pound and NZD fall as well. Same with pound AUD as well. Interesting in Euro Cad. Yeah, Euro Cad I've had my eye on as well. Euro Cad I have my eye on as well. A nice push to the upside kind of overnight coming into the morning, well, for me anyway. So yeah, I'm looking at Euro Cad coming back into some of these areas here, because this was nice support which we broke through very, very heavily not too long ago for Euro Cad, and we never really got that retest. So I think right now we're getting that retest, and this price action here looks like price was consolidating for Eurocad, had the fake out to the downside, and now it's getting ready to turn bullish. So you can see on the weekly chart a nice, kind of fake out to the downside, a few wicks, very strong engulfing weekly candle there as well. So I do think Eurocad will be looking good to turn bullish. It looks like price is trading above this level of resistance, so if we can get a break and retest of that, so this resistance running through there, nice break and retest of that level, could just fill that range to the upside into that daily zone. Oh wow, that's 183 pips. It's been some time since I've traded Eurocad, to be honest. I didn't know it had so much pips about it, but yeah, nice range there. It was like 183 pips. So yeah, if we can come back down, because price is obviously looking very, very bullish, but if we come back down, hold on to that, I can see price pushing further to the upside there, put another higher low, and then yeah, for me, Eurocad, there could be some nice buys. Not really interested in selling it with what the daily and the weekly are doing. I like to be in sync with the higher time frames, and we're looking quite bullish right now, so there is a chance that we might just continue to the upside and not retrace, which is not too bad, because I do think there'll be some nice selling opportunities back up here, but it does mean we might have missed out on a nice buying opportunity back there. So yeah, if Eurocad can take a breather, come back down, retest from a higher low somewhere around the 1.4600 level, then yeah, I do think Eurocad will be looking good for some upside. Same with pound CAD as well. We've seen pound CAD have a big push. I think CAD it might have had news, I'm not too sure. I haven't checked the fundamentals, but CAD, we've seen a lot of CAD pairs have some big moves up because of CAD weakness, and pound CAD is another one as well. Pound CAD, for me, if it can break through this daily neckline, I think we can see a really nice reversal for pound CAD. Because on my weekly analysis, I said if you do hold this, I do expect pound CAD to break down. However, if pound CAD does push to the upside, we'll be getting a nice break of that neckline of this head and shoulder pattern. So as you can see there, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break and retest, we could be seeing price really start to push off and start to retrace some of that bearish momentum we had not too long ago. But of course, that neckline is still intact. So it's best to wait for price to really break through it first before do look for buys, because it could still sell off. Again, if I kind of refine that zone, you can see resistance, 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 resistance. We could still sell off again here for pound CAD. But break above, we might be seeing some nice continuations. Okay, nice. You're looking for buys as well, Chia. Good, good. Nice to have agreeing biases. So Chia, do you also look at the higher time frames as well and try and trade in that direction, or do you just have like one time frame you kind of look at and base your trades from? Because I know some people keep it to one time frame, which it does have its benefits because there's obviously less to think about. And it keeps things quite simple, just trading off one time frame, entries, exits, and analysis. But obviously the whole point of multi-time frame analysis is to get tighter entries with tighter stop loss to maximize your risk to reward. But sometimes it can overcomplicate it if you don't know how to use it properly. But yeah, Eurocad for me is looking good for buys, and the thing is, if Eurocad's going to fly off to the upside, pound CAD probably will too. So I would expect to see a break of this zone here, 1.70800, and we can get in some nice buys for this one. See price push on. For H and GU is bearish. Do you think GU may drop a little? GU actually broke through a key zone for me, Lewis. And broke through a key zone. So you got this support here on the left, which was our price swing low, swing high, new swing low. Price is breaking above that level, and it closed above, as you can see on the on the prior 4H candle. So for me, price could actually see some upside, Lewis, if it stays above this. If price does get back below this level, because you can see previously we're putting wicks into this zone, so price was having a hard time breaking through. However, this candle though closed above, quite strongly above that zone there and the support. So for me, price could potentially push onto the upside if we can stay above. If it does close back below, then yes, we might see GU fall to the downside again. If it does get back below, but if it does hold above, nice break and retest in the lower time frames, and I say this one could be on its way to the upside. DXY have obviously seen some really nice downside there. I do think pound USD will kind of follow that momentum in the opposite direction, of course, to the upside. If it does sustain itself above that, I do think 1.35 would be a nice place for price to head to. So yeah, prices above that. You can see in the hourly time frame are holding above it as well. So yeah, we can see some downside, but it does need to get back below that level. The way I look to trade is, and I have my zones, my structural zones. If price is above the level, I'm generally looking to buy on the retest. Or price is trading below, I'll look to sell the price action. But right now, price is above that level, it closed above in the 4H. So if that 4H kind of does close back below, then yes, sales could be looking good again, and that could be a fake out. But we'll see how price action develops, because if we do start holding that as support, I do think pound USD is getting ready to take off. And you can see Eurusd, its partner in crime, has already taken off quite aggressively there to the upside. Obviously Euro is a lot stronger than pound right now, but that one's really ripped off to the upside. And I think pound is slowly getting ready to do the same thing. But we will see, of course. We need price action to give us that signal that we are holding that level. So far, we've just seen one candle kind of give us a wick to the upside and a wick to the downside. So really just giving us indecision, which can be a good thing. But if we can hold above that, see a nice momentum shift again, I would think pound USD is getting ready to continue. Okay, nice. Look at D1H4 to analyze. That's pretty much what I do as well, Chia. Look at daily H4, and then yeah, I look to enter on the hourly time frame or 30-minute, depending if the hourly is a little bit messy. No, if the half an hour is a little bit messy, then I would drop to the hourly time frame for cleaner price action. But if I can squeeze an entry in the 30-minute, I will look for 30-minute as well. But yeah, that's pretty much how I look to trade. I also use the weekly sometimes, weekly candlesticks. Nice to know, what potentially the next week could look like. But yeah, pretty much the same as me. Pound CHF is on a buying spree. Let's see what Pound CHF is doing. I haven't looked at that one. Pound CHF is absolutely bearish right now. Yeah, pound CHF is looking very, very bearish right now. It's broken through that prior low there as well. Actually, yeah, it has. Yeah, price is broken through that low. Pound CHF is looking bearish. I did say pound CHF actually a few live streams ago. I did say potentially we could be seeing a push into 1.22. If we go on the higher time frames, like the weekly, you can see we do have this prior resistance here, which price broke through. I think slowly just working its way back into this level here. So for me, pound CHF, I can see price push on a little bit further, actually back into this level. It might break through it as well, so maybe even further, but I think that's where pound CHF is headed. So yeah, I'm not really keen on buying pound CHF, the way everything's looking, the way the day's looking. We're breaking through the low. If anything, a break and retest of that, we could actually sell off. If you want to buy the pair, I would say wait for price to break back above the prior low, show that we're holding that as support, and then you can look to get long. But yeah, for me, pound CHF is looking very, very bearish right now. I think CHF might be a little bit bullish. Well, CHF JPY is very, very messy. How did that CHF JPY position work out last week for you, Chia? Because we did see some nice downside there. Because I remember during the stream we were looking at some sells from here, I think it was, or was it here? No, it was here. Looking at sales for CHF-JPY there after the fake out above these highs. It did sell off, take its time though, not quite as much as the other JPY pairs though. But we did see CHF-JPY fall off a little bit. I still think it can, but it's very messy right now. There's definitely cleaner pairs out there to trade. Okay, so yeah, I mean GU for me looking at the structure, I think it could turn bullish. I know what you're saying because price hasn't kind of broken through kind of all of these wicks here on the left. That potentially could still come down, and yes, it could still come back down. But for me, I look to work off the kind of structural levels. So if price closes above a level or breaks underneath the level, that's kind of how I formulate my bias. I know based on the candlesticks, yes, it might be a bit risky because of the wicks there. Price still hasn't really cleared the wicks. It's cleared the bodies but hasn't cleared the wicks, so it could still come back down. But because it's closed above this level here, if price can sustain itself above that, I do think pound USD can go up. Yes, it is a riskier buy because pound USD overall, if you go on the daily chart, is still bearish. You see momentum is still with the bears. Daily actually hasn't broken above that low either, so potentially the daily could roll over. But I do think pound USD is getting ready to follow what Euro USD is doing and really push on. Pound is a lot weaker right now. We can see that across other pairs, so that's why pound is having a tougher time. But I do think pound USD is getting ready for that buy. And like I said to Lewis as well, if we don't see the break and retest above this level and price closes straight back below, then yeah, I will keep my bearish bias or shift my bullish bias to bearish actually, and then look for price to fall over. But if it can stay above that, then yeah, I'm bullish on pound. But if it closes back below, then yeah, I'll be bearish again, and that could just be a break and retest, and then yeah, price does fall over. So it all depends for me how price reacts at that level on the left. If it's above, I'm looking for buys. If it's below, I'm looking for sells. Now you can see on the hourly, we haven't had too much of an indication that the market is holding it yet. So yeah, this candle could easily close below if it wanted to. So I do agree with you, it is riskier buys, but you know, I do think the market is getting ready to reverse. But if it does close back below, you know, I will flip the bias. Yeah, CHF JPY, I totally agree. It's very, very messy. Yeah, it's difficult for this one because in the way I'm looking at this on the daily, it's got so much downside potential, and I could really see price coming back down to this area here. You can see pretty much every other JPY pair has kind of seen that move. You know, Euro JPY, we retrace all that bearish momentum. GJ, we retrace, you know, pretty much all that bearish momentum as well. AD JPY, we trace all that bearish momentum, and CHF JPY and USD JPY are the only pairs that haven't really retraced too much of that. So I do think they're slowly getting ready for that move. So I do think we can see that downside, but it might not happen this week. It might mess around a little bit. Not too sure for CHF JPY. Maybe a break and retest of the low could be a lot better. But yeah, you are definitely right. It's definitely a messy pair. I mean, wow. There's clear resistance here. So I would say if we can reject that, you know, cleanly, there might be some nice sells. But yeah, it is a messy pair. Hey, trends. Hey, no worry. I'm not gonna. Yeah, pound AD, sure thing. What pair am I looking to trade? I'm looking to trade Euro USD. I'm looking for some buys for this one. It's in some resistance now, so I'm waiting for price to either break above it or retest it. And then I'm looking to go long from that and take that higher. I'm also looking at USD JPY as well for potential sells. I'm looking at push back into this resistance down here, turn support. So I'm looking for some retracement. back up into that level and then sell off, or the break and retest or below and then sell off there. So that's what I'm looking at for USD/JPY. I'm looking at USD/JPY, Euro USD there. There's a few other pairs, but they're not quite ready yet. Like USD Cad, I'm still waiting for price to break through that previous low here, which is down here. So I'm still looking for USD Cad to break through this low, which is still a little bit far away. So that might be a trade for potentially next couple of days. Euro Cad as well does look good. We just analyzed Euro Cad. Euro Cad looks good. I'm waiting for a break and retest. You can see on the daily chart we're breaking through this resistance here. I'm looking for price to come back and retest that support, now turn resistance. So I'm looking at filling that range. But yeah, I want to see Euro Cad retrace for me first, and then yeah, I'll be taking buys to the upside. So there's a few pairs I do have my eye on, but they need time to develop and retrace and give us some price action. But Euro USD and USD Cad and USD/JPY do look very, very good. Pound AUD, we'll take a look at that one. So yeah, Pound AUD for me, I'm overall bullish on this pair from the higher time frame perspective. Again, like I said earlier in the stream, price broke above this key level of support, and I think it's coming back up into that resistance up there. So overall, that's what I'm expecting Pound AUD to head to. Go on the 4H, we're in some resistance now, so definitely not looking for buys. I did say that I did want to see price retrace back into this area here for Pound AUD, retrace into that and then push on. But you know, we didn't quite retrace into that level first, so we might either fall and double bottom at this low and bounce, or we might come back and retest that and bounce up. So that's what I'm expecting for Pound AUD, or hoping at least for Pound AUD, because you know, if it does push on, I might have missed an opportunity there. But it's stuck in this resistance. It's failing to break through. It might come down. Risky sells here if you're looking for sells, mainly because the trend is obviously bullish, and you're selling it at that high there. So it is, you know, definitely a riskier sell. But if you do hold into that, I do expect to see Pound AUD come down, and then from that I will be looking to buy the pair back up. Really nice resistance here at 1.86. Hopefully you can bounce from that and see some longs. But yeah, the trend is bullish. I'm expecting that to continue. Not really too bothered about the sells here. I think they'll be short-lived. I think the longs are definitely the way to go. So yeah, Pound AUD, I'm looking for buys, but just looking for some retracement first. I was looking for 1.86. We just missed that, but hopefully we can come back and retest those levels. Maybe if AUD USD see some strength, or well, AUD is stronger than pound. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for, Pound AUD. Could be some sells, but just slightly riskier in my opinion, and not really the type of trade that I'm looking for. But yeah, I hope that helped. But yeah, some of these pairs do need some time to develop. I mean, USD USD, we've seen some crazy downside for that one, so I'm expecting that one to come up. A lot of the USD pairs as well, so that's why I'm so keen on getting those buys. So I do think they'll come up again. USD Cad as well, I'm expecting some downside. The break and retest of that does look very, very good. You know, hopefully that can happen. Bitcoin, we did see some nice upside. I was talking for Bitcoin for to retrace back down into 53k. We just missed 53k, which was this level here. We did hit 53,000, you know, 363. So we were in that 53k kind of bracket, but we didn't hit that 53k bang on, which was this resistance here, just taken across as support. You can see we just about missed it. And price is looking not overly bullish for Bitcoin. It's still respecting this kind of trend line here on the daily. We could potentially still roll over, test that support, and then fly up. If we do break through that trend line, however, I do think Bitcoin will turn bullish and see some upside here. I did say if we get back above here, the buys will be looking good. But I think if we can break through that trend line, that's enough to confirm that price is turning bullish, in my opinion. Can wait for it to get back above that resistance, but I think this one is pushing on for Bitcoin, but right now it's trapped underneath that trend line, may potentially roll over back to 53k, retest that area, then turn bullish. But yeah, for me, I think Bitcoin is looking like it could be getting ready for some buys. Yeah, Eurocad did miss that big push, missed the breakout to the upside, but you know, hopefully we can get retracement on that one. Hey, no problem, bro. No problem, Trends. Happy to help. Happy to help. But yeah, Eurocad did miss that breakout on this one. But yeah, hopefully you can see some nice retracement for it. I mean, it's looking very, very clear. So if the price does pull back for us, you know, I think the buys would be very, very, very good on that one. High probability as well. So if it does retrace, happy days. If not, you know, we'll let it be missed trading opportunity. But yeah, Eurocad for me does look like some good buys if it can retrace. Maybe you can see some CAD strength or something. Maybe if oil can push up. How is oil doing these days actually? Yeah, wow. Oil absolutely tanked. Absolutely tanked on Friday. You know, a lot of things took a hit on Friday. I was looking for oil to come back into here. It's almost just about reached that area, but I do think oil will be getting ready to see some upside soon. So hopefully that can drag CAD a bit of strength, retrace Eurocad for us. But you know, oil is looking very, very bearish. Yeah, GU is weak, pound is weak. Yeah, it is failing to break through that level. I mean, it did break through the level, but hold above it. If it can hold it, buys will be looking good. Breaks back below, buys will definitely not be looking good there. So, yeah, like I said earlier, if pound, you know, can't sustain that level, you know, it very well could have just given us a fake out there. Again, getting people excited, buying on the highs here. Oh, did not mean to do that. Buying on the highs there, you know, expecting price to continue. However, then you know it's kind of fake people out to turn bearish, and we could look to sell off potentially. So, yeah, if we see a aggressive close there for pounds, I do think pounds basically just giving us a fake up there to the upside. Euro, on the other hand, you know, definitely did see that momentum, but like I said, Euro is back at a very key level of resistance. You know, this is our previous swing high of the market, had a nice swing low, swing high, swing low, and we're back at that level, which could send us to the downside. So, you know, that's why I said wait for the break and retest of this to confirm prices are actually, you know, turning bullish, because from here we could just have kind of like a bear flag pattern, sort of like this, you know, for price to continue bearish as well. So if your USD could break above that, great, but I'm expecting some retracement, to be fair. And yeah, like you're right as well, pound is not looking too good. So unless in 40 minutes, because 40 minutes is a long time for candles to shift and turn, you know, turn bullish. If it can pull back up and just give us a nice wick, that could be a nice sign that we're holding that level. But yeah, if we do close like that, pound potentially might be getting ready to roll over back down into these lows. So the sales would actually be looking a lot better if we do get that close. I'll take a look at GJ. Okay, wow, yeah, GJ dropping there. So yeah, GJ, I said if it can break back underneath this level, retest it, there could be some nice sells. Overall, I did say pound JPY, my target for pound JPY is 150, which is this support here. So that's what I'm expecting price to go. I was hoping for a retest of that prior low here, but yeah, price has not quite got that. So yeah, pound JPY looking bearish. Looks like it's taking out those price swing lows on the left. So yeah, price was quite choppy a moment ago, trading in this range here. Potentially could break out again. We've still got actually no, we've got 9 minutes for this candle because it's the 30-minute. We've got 9 minutes before that candle closes. So if we can close like that, that's definitely confirming to us momentum is definitely with the bears, and price is breaking out this range. So yeah, like you could enter on that with stop loss above there, or you could wait for the retest of that prior low and then go short, depending how you want to trade it. But yeah, for me, I think pound JPY is likely to fall to 150 now. That's what I'll be expecting. That's what I'll be expecting pound JPY to head to, back to 150. If it breaks back above, then yeah, buyers will be looking good. But for me, pound's quite weak right now, and yes, it's failed to break through that. So yeah, I think pound JPY will probably roll over into 150. Nice, same target as well. That's good. It's good when we have our biases and targets all link up, because it's kind of like a confluence in itself. If you can analyze the pair and then someone else also has the same analysis, it's kind of like a confluence. Okay, even another person has the same analysis as me, so it's good to see that. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting pound JPY to go to. And yeah, it's not looking too good for pound right now. It's not looking too good for pound. Because again, I think pound is also... Not pound. Because the UK will also get our masks back into fashion for public transport and going to the shops as well. So I don't think that'll be too good for the pound with the coronavirus new variant and all that crazy stuff. So yeah, we're seeing some weakness. It's not looking too good for the pound. And yeah, that candle's there. Yeah, it might be getting ready to sell off again. How's USD Cad looking? USD Cad's still surviving. I think USD Cad's still surviving because Cad is seeing some strength right now. Yeah, pound CAD is not looking too good either. Pound CAD could actually be nice sells. The only reason why I wouldn't sell it though, because I do have a bias that Euro CAD's going to go up. So I think I'll probably wait for the break and retest. And then if anything, I'll probably wait for Euro CAD to come down and wait for the buys. But from an intraday perspective, there could be some nice sells to take this one down back into a really strong area of resistance. If we can hold that, we should see some downside. Okay, yeah, it might not retest. Yeah, because pound's not looking too good. The COVID issues as well. It might just drop. You could just see a big push. Let me check the fundamentals for today actually. So I haven't actually checked that. And it's always good to know what is actually going on. Okay, we've got some US dollar news coming out later. And some AD coming out later tonight. High impact as well. So again, anyone trading US dollar, do watch out for that. But yeah, COVID issues not going too well over here. So yeah, pound might take a hit. And it kind of already is, to be fair. So yeah, pound JPY, I'm expecting that 150 to be hit. If pound USD closes like that, I'm probably expecting price to come back down to 1.33. Retest these lows. I'm not too sure if it will break through them, but I think it will definitely come back and retest. Not definitely. I shouldn't say definitely. High probability chance it will do that. Come back down to 1.33. But yeah, pound USD, pound JPY look like they're heading down. Eurusd, again, Euro I think is overall a little bit strong, or still seeing some strength. But yeah, Euro's coming back into that level, so a break and retest of that will get me interested in Euro. But right now, I know it's at a nice level, but I'm not looking forward to short that. You can short it. There's nothing wrong with the short, but it's just not something I'm looking for right now. think EURJPY might be good for some longs as well, potentially. Again, I do say that with a pinch of salt because the market is very, very bearish, but we're failing to break through this low here, this significant prior low at 1.28, not 1.28, sorry, 128. You can see wick, another wick, wick. So we're failing to break through this. We're getting a lot of wick rejections. And if you do sustain that, well, most likely we'll see some upside. I can imagine potentially a nice bearish candle push into the upside, something like that. So there could be some nice intraday trades there if we can sustain that support, of course. Dropping down onto the hourly time frame, it does get quite messy, I do have to admit. Get rid of that level there. Kind of draw that level in and take that to account on the left. Yeah, it does get quite messy, I do have to admit. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's too clear. I would just say that's overall consolidation really for EURJPY and the hourly. It would make a lot more sense if price was to do something like that rather than try and get a trade in there. It might not be worthwhile. But like I said, in the daily time frame, we're seeing really good rejections. So it is a pair that I'm not looking to trade, but if price action does develop, I'll probably add it to the watch list. But I wouldn't say I'm looking for entries now. It's a little bit too messy on the hourly time frame, but daily does look like it's failing to break through that level, and we could be seeing a push in the opposite direction. Yeah, EU is a bit of a weird one because we've seen that all that strength for EU, we're coming back into a very key level. So I would expect EU to take at least a breather from this level, but I wouldn't short it. Usd Cad could be the better short. I did say Usd Cad could be the better short, simply because of how prices are reacting with that level. You can see on the hourly time frame, prices failed to break through it once, again and again now. And I really do like this price action when price comes into a level, it kind of stalls at that level and it sees a bit of a pop to the upside, and then you see a nice bearish engulf or something to come to the opposite side, and normally you do see price start to fall, and that's kind of what's happened here. Nice push to that level, consolidation, fake out to the upside, and price is now falling over. I did say for Usd Cad, the safest entry would be a break and retest of the low, because we do have to take into account that price overall is in that bullish trend. So looking to short that is definitely the riskier option. So I did say if Usd Cad can break through this support, that could be a nice break and retest entry, and then look for some of these targets down here. Obviously shorts up here, risk to reward a lot better, but obviously more risky. So that's how you want to play it. It looks like price in the 30-minute is getting ready to break out of this range here. Let's move that across. It is getting ready to break out of that, so it could be getting ready to drop. That could be an entry in itself really. It's about closing about 16 seconds, so that could be an entry within itself. Again, like I said, I will wait for the break and retest of the low just to give myself a slightly higher chance of the trade playing out. But I wouldn't be surprised if price does obviously see that drop, and to be honest, price has to fall to the downside for me to even get that break and retest opportunity, of because it can't not happen and me take that trade. So I'm waiting for the break and retest. Price could potentially turn bullish again, see a higher high before the drop. That's the whole purpose of waiting for the break and retest. But that does look like a good opportunity in itself. A nice break there. We could be seeing that continuation. Could wait for a retest though if you want to be slightly safer, but overall prices really confirmed to us that we're failing to break through that support. That resistance, sorry. Yeah, GU probably was, with the momentum we're seeing, that looks like a stop loss hunt there. Because again, the markets is all about Yeah, psychology also all about how people trade, because yeah, psychology drives the markets. It's how people react to fundamentals, how people react to certain events, and the psychology behind is what drive the markets. People, when prices moving up, people greedy, look to buy at the top, and then when price sells off, we get the fear and everyone panics and sells their position and gets out. So yeah, that's kind of how I look to trade the opposite of that. Kind of sell high, buy low. So if I'm looking to catch a break and retest, I'm always waiting for that retest. I'm never waiting for the break, because most of the time you do see that breaks are normally false. So taking breaks, you're always up against it. So that's why I'm always a big advocate of trading for the retest and not the break. And potentially here that could be a false break again. You can see price rejecting it many times. So if we do fail to break through that, price will come back down. If we can pull back up and close bullish somehow, then yes, we could see some upside. But looking at what's going on with the pound right now, yeah, I think that is probably a fake out to the upside there. That probably is a fake out to the upside. Yeah. So again, trends, I did say, because 4H is back above that level. If the 4H does close back below, it's false. But the way I look to trade is I look to get the high time frames to close above or break the resistance, and I'll drop to the low time frames to look for the retest. So that's what I'm doing with this example. So we've got the 4H support there. 4H prior structural low, taking that across as a resistance. You can see we're rejecting it multiple times there. It looked like price was going to sell off, failed to do that, came back into the level, did close above. So I'm looking for the hourly time frame to retest this and then push on. However, right now you can see price is having a hard time if we drop to the hourly. So if the hourly doesn't give us a nice retest, and normally you do see that quite a lot of the times, if you look at a 4H break above a level, you can always drop to the hourly time frame. I wouldn't say like a 5 minute, because it gets too choppy. Hourly is quite a good proportion to 4 hour or 30 minutes. You can look for the retest of that on that time frame, and then look to just get a tighter stop loss. But yeah, if the hourly is going to close like this, that means we need to see the next couple of hourly candles get back above, which will be difficult. So if the hourly candles can get back above, retest it, that would be great. But with everything's going on right now, if the pound is looking like that will be a difficult task for pound USD. So yeah, they're not invalidated if it does close below, but if it closes in 4H, it is invalidated. But with that hourly, we're never getting the break and retest of that type of price action. So the chances are we probably won't get a buy opportunity anyway. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, if price does hold this, it's most likely will come back down to lows. Simply that's just how the market works. It works in those waves. If the market is trying to turn bullish and it fails to do so, and it does turn bearish again, most likely it will at least come back to retest the price swing low, and probably about 75% of the time it will push to see some new lows underneath, and that's the same thing flipped for a bullish market as well. So again, keeping things very, very simple, just look at the structural highs, the structural lows, and just look to play within that. If the market's making new lows and new highs, simply look to continue that range. Sometimes you can go against the trend, but definitely you have to understand that is the risky opportunity. But yeah, if you do fail to break through this, we most likely will push back down to 1.33, which is that psychological level. Maybe some new lows potentially. I'm not really looking to short this. I'm getting ready to go long on pound. So if pound does take that dive, I will just be getting ready for price to break back above. It might not do that. It might continue bearish. So I won't obviously look to get long. But if price does that, I don't think I'll look to trade it. Hey, thank you so much, Kev. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, bro. Or sis. Let's take a quick look at US 30. So yeah, US 30, we took a bit of a dive last week on Friday. Again, price was giving us some really nice price action on the daily chart on this price swing high here on the left. Price was holding that really well and was looking for price to continue up. So you can see if you go into the 4H time frame, we're getting some really nice rejection of this level here. All those wicks was telling us to go to the upside. However, we failed to break through this key level here. I did say to you guys that last week, if price doesn't get above this, we could sell off again back into that support. Obviously, I was expecting that to happen, but because we didn't break through this, we could simply fall back into that support. And then, as you can see, price actually went and broke through it and then continued a lot further. But that's just simply understanding where the resistance and where the supply is and where the demand is of a trend. And this was our prior structural level. So price failed to break through this. Simply like what Lewis said, in a bearish trend, we most likely will come back down to those lows and potentially form new lows as well. So that's kind of a nice example there on US 30. But the recent price action, price is starting to stall a little bit. You can see those wicks there on the 4H. Price is finding support here on the left, starting to stall there. I wouldn't say there's any valid buying opportunities just yet. You can see how bearish that is. Wouldn't want to buy against that. I did say if we break through that, this will be our next target, which price obviously breaking through that. So we might actually push into the wick over here potentially. Really strong demand support there. Price might crawl its way into that level and retest. So I think the buying opportunities will be a lot better around here. Waiting for price to break through this. It could be trapping some buys here and then we sell off and then there could be a nice push. But for me, US 30 is just very bearish right now, and there's no point looking to buy this one at all really. So yeah, I'll say wait for push into 34,200, 34,300. Look for the price action around here. There could be some nice buys there. I'll stay away from here because it could be trapping people, and certainly if that momentum is not looking good for buys. So yeah, I'll probably leave that alone. Hey, much appreciated, Lewis. Much appreciated. And yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, drop a like on the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what you're waiting for? Join the family. Subscribe to the channel. I stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Oh, that came out very bad. And I analyze on the weekend as well. And I will be dropping content during the week. Videos for you guys to learn from. Or to get my opinions from at least. So yeah, do look out for that, guys. I'm not in any trades at the moment. I recently exited my AUD/JPY trade from last week, which we caught a really nice push off this resistance here last week off that candle there. Obviously massive dump there. That Friday kind of sell-off did help me out. It happened during, the funny thing is because I didn't normally set a TP. On my trades. I set stop loss, but I don't normally set a TP. So yeah, I was in the trade and then I was in the stream as well. Price wasn't doing anything. Then I went to bed and then obviously this massive drop happened over the Asian session, and I'm normally asleep during the Asian session. Not normally asleep, but I am asleep during the Asian session. I don't stay up at night. And then yeah, I woke up and price was around, where is it? It was around here when I woke up, and my TP for this trade was this support. So it's obviously smashed through that support. So yeah, I held on to it a little bit longer because obviously that momentum there was looking good. So I got around here. So it did give me an extra 80-90 pips for that one. So that was a nice surprise because obviously the market wasn't going anywhere, and then suddenly all of a sudden it does that. So that was a nice surprise. But yeah, right now I'm not in any trades right now. Like I said, I do have my eye on a few pairs, but nothing right now. Wow, Usd Cad really is pushing there. So yeah, if Usd Cad can get a break of that low, I definitely will be looking for trades there. USD, definitely do have my eye on this one for pushing to 112. Had a nice break and retest of that low there, just keeping it really simple there. Really nice break, retest. Obviously I didn't get into that trade though, so obviously not simple enough for me, but in hindsight it would be a great trade there. So hopefully we can get another retest of that, or the break and retest of that low, and then we can expect the drop to 112. And 112, just so you guys know, is this resistance here on the left, which we never got the retest of. Looking for push into that. So yeah, looking for push into 112, but we'll see. CAD news in 2 hours. Do we have CAD news? I did not see any CAD news. Okay, yeah, we do have CAD news, but it does say medium impact on my FX books. I'm not too sure how much of a impact it will have, but we will see. But yeah, we do have some CAD announcements at 1:30, and yeah, USD also is at 1:30 as well. No, at 3 p.m. GMT. So yeah, do watch out for that, guys, especially if you are looking at getting into USD Cad as well. It might affect it, I'm not too sure. It says medium impact on my FX book, so I'm not sure, because sometimes on this channel we've seen medium impact and it's given us quite a high impact, but more often than not you do see medium not cause too much ruckus. Hey William, welcome to the stream. It's been some time since you checked in. It's good to see that black thumbnail, not thumbnail, profile picture. It's good to see that. But yeah, guys, gold still consolidating. Need that break and retest. I do think gold could be some nice buys if it does get above that. We've been holding on to that trend line quite well. As you can see, really nice trend line there. If you can break above that, I do think gold could see a push to 1830, but yeah, so it's a little bit choppy. But yeah, guys, we're coming into the last 17 minutes or so of the stream. So if there's any pairs, any markets you want to look at, feel free to share. Also the time frame, let me know. Take a look at it, see what's going on, and yeah, I can analyze it for you. But yeah, I'm still needing a little bit more development for the pairs that I'm looking at, but it does look good this week. I think pairs are setting up nicely. Hopefully tomorrow we can see some nice opportunities, or later today, depending how the day pans out. Expecting some 80 strengths coming through this week for these 80 pairs that I've seen that retracement. You can see 80 USD still hanging on to that support for dear life. So you can see that support there on the left, that support there. So I do suspect we could see some upside. It's a little bit choppy, do have to admit, probably not looking best for buys, but it's something to keep an eye out for. Maybe if you can come back, respect that support a few more times, buys will be looking good, take that higher. So yeah, I do think we could be looking good there, but nothing cemented just yet. Do not listen about gold, the notorious. What are you on about? I mean, like I said, for gold, it's choppy and it's consolidation. It's not looking too good. If you can break that high, it might push up. Break and retest of that would look good to buy to the upside. You can look to play within the range if you want to. No, look at selling at that resistance, buying at that support. Not really my type of setup, but you can look to play for that range if you want to. But gold right now looks messy for me. You know, it's either it breaks to the upside and continues, or it breaks the downside and continues, because price has shown manipulation to both sides of the consolidation. We've manipulated to the upside, we've also manipulated to the downside. So price has, you know, taken out both buyers and sellers. So it's not really clear as to which way it wants to break out just yet. But we do also have that trend line, which if price does respect, you know, we probably will see a move to the upside there. So like I said, I wouldn't waste my time trading gold in that middle. But if you do break to the upside, retest, get long, that will be looking good. Or on the flip side, if you decide to break through the trend line, then you can wait for a break and retest on the bottom and then take that short. But in here, I wouldn't really waste my time with gold. It's a bit too messy. Or unless we can get another fake out, then there could be some nice buys or sells. But wait for the break and retest, in my opinion, of course. Everything I say is in my opinion. And yeah, it doesn't always come true, guys. So don't just, you know, trade what I say. Use it as confidence as to what you guys, you know, analyze. Okay, yeah. I think as the USD and AD will go up, AD/USD will go up. I think pound will eventually go up, but maybe not this week, or today at least. So yeah, pound might not be the one to trade, but USD and AUD could be good. Like I said, USD, a break and retest of that high there would look good in my opinion. I think this could be a nice double bottom, couple fakes above this level here, so break and retest above that. I think some buyers will be looking good. Same kind of thing with AU. You know, you can wait for the break and retest. You can wait for the break and retest above the high as well, or like I said, a few more retests of this support there. Again, slightly riskier option, but I think AU's getting ready to go up. EURUSD as well, in my opinion, still get ready to go up. Right now it's testing a strong resistance level, so it might retrace, but I do think it's still getting ready to continue bullish. But yeah, we might see some retracement first, which is completely fine. But yeah, pound's not looking too good. Usd Cad, we'll probably see that range get filled there, and if we can get a break on that, I'll look to get entries. And if I do get any entries, guys, I will let you know on my Telegram channel, so feel free to go check that out. It's in my description, or if you scroll to the chat, I do have a link to my Telegram there, so feel free to go check that out, and also check out the recommended broker as well. Free links there if you want to use it. Well, GA is pushing. I think, yeah, pound is definitely very, very weak right now. Yeah, so pound's definitely strong. So yeah, pound might be written off for the week, to be honest, or for at least today. I don't think buyers are looking any good whatsoever. And yeah, we might have to let this one go for the week. I mean, if you're looking to sell pound, I don't think there's a pair that I'm really looking to sell it on. Maybe pound CHF from the break and retest, not really sort of my trade though. Pound NZD potentially, because pound NZD will come into this nice area here, and if NZD also does see that strength, because it's obviously done that massive drop, and if you do see some NZD strength and some retracement with pound weakness because of COVID and also because of NZD strength, we might see some nice sells formulating on pound NZD actually. I did say this is the level that I would have my main interest on that support there taken across, but we haven't quite reached that. So yeah, like I said, we might form this resistance here, which we are respecting right now. So if we can break and retest it a few more times, there could be some nice sells at this level here. This definitely looks like a fake out there. So if you can sell off, come back again, then sell off, or you can wait for the break and retest of the swing low here, which again probably the safer opportunity as well, and get some nice sells in there. Either which way, I'm not looking to buy it, I'm looking to sell pound NZD. Yeah, I do agree, Aaron. I do agree. It's hard to see break and retest, which is why that's where multi-time frame analysis does come in. Sometimes on the hourly you can look choppy, but 4H looks a lot clearer, vice versa. So that's where the multi-time frame analysis does come in, because again the market time frames are fractal. They're all the exact same thing, just in smaller and smaller scales. So if it looks messy in one time frame, just jump to the time frame above, and sometimes it can clear it right up. Obviously, if it's looking messy throughout time frames, best to leave that pair alone and just look for another break and retest on a different pair. But yeah, sometimes it can help just dropping to the higher time frame, just to clear things up. But yeah, gold does look a little bit messy. I do have to agree with you there. It does look quite messy. Even the 4H doesn't look too good either. I'm not looking to trade gold, so even if we do get that break and retest, if it looks very, very good, maybe I'll look to take it. But it's not the highest probability chance or trade opportunity for me. I do think if we do get a break and retest, it probably will play out. But I have my eyes on other pairs, like I said, Eurusd, USD Usd Cad, Euro Cad are mainly the pairs I have my eyes on. So I'm not focused too much on gold, but if you do get that break and retest, it will look good, either sells or buys. I mean, if we didn't get this wick here or that push here, I would be a lot more confident and probably would focus on gold a lot more. But because we've taken liquidity to both sides, kind of balances out. So normally you see a fake out in one direction to go the other, but we've seen fake out both, so it doesn't make too much sense here. The only real edge here is the trend line. Going through the market, which could give us a nice snap to the upside. So that's what I'm saying, and break of the high could be good. But then if you get below the trend line will obviously act as resistance, and we can see some nice sells. So you can go both ways. I'm not looking to trade within that range. It's just too choppy, and risk to reward would probably not be that good either as well, depending on the time frame. But yeah, there's other pairs looking a lot better than gold in my opinion. So yeah, I'm not paying too much attention towards that pair right now. But yeah, we've got about 6 minutes before that closes hourly candle, and you can see here on pound USD, it doesn't look too good for the candle. I don't think we'll probably see in 6 minutes price pull all the way back up and close above that level. So we'll most likely close underneath this level. So unless the next two candles can close back above, because the next two candles will make up the 4H. Unless the next two candles can close back above, the likelihood is that pound USD probably will sell off back down to 1.33. Again, not really a sell opportunity I will look to take either. Risk to reward not that healthy, and again, I'm mainly looking to buy the pair up because I think it's running out of juice to the downside. So I kind of want to take this one to the upside and take the reversal. And right now, it doesn't look like the reversal is playing out just yet, or the market is ready to reverse. So pound USD probably will sell off back down to 1.33. I'll probably leave that pair alone. Eurusd might be taking a hit as well. Small hit, nothing too major. Again, would be expecting at least some type of bearish reaction from this area, previous swing high. So we can be looking at potentially a break and retest of this level here. The market coming back to retest this. Maybe some longs there. Like I said to you guys, I'm mainly for the break and retest of that high. But yeah, Eurusd not looking too good either. So we'll see how these play out. Again, not in buys just yet, but I will be looking to get in buys for Euro, either back at this swing low here, maybe at the break and retest of this level, or the break and retest of that high. Usd Cad, I'm going to wait for price to break this low here and then get in some sells. And then NZD and AUD, I'm then going to wait for them to break the highs as well. So if NZD can break the highs, the retest will look good, and we can take some continuations there. And same thing for AUSD break through the high, take some nice continuation. So that's probably how I want to play the USD pairs this week, or today at least, unless something changes, because we do have some US dollar news coming out that could affect the pairs and make them look a little bit different. But again, you can keep it simple, know the levels that I want to be trading with, and see how price reacts with them to formulate my bias and look for entries, of course. So yeah, USD looks like it's holding onto that level, which is a nice sign, because I'm looking to sell this one. So hopefully you can see price push up, it's nice and slow, something like that, and then sell off again. And I will be looking for entries around here, get entry something like this around there, stop loss above the high, and push it back down into 112. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for USD JPY. The break and retest does look good, but risk to reward might be a bit sketchy in that one. This is the 4H time frame, so obviously I will drop to the hourly, maybe 30-minute for entry. So risk to reward could look a lot better, but from up here it's looking good. So if we can see USD push back up, I will be looking for sales back down into this region here. So that's mainly what I'm looking at for this pair. It is on my watch list. I'm not sure we will see that retracement happen. If we do, great. If we don't, the break and retest is what I'll be looking for. But yeah, it's definitely reacting with that support there, so price is holding on to that. USD, we've seen price kind of leak to the downside there as well, and the USD still holding on. Pound USD, I was definitely closing below, so no break and retest there for pound. Pound probably will continue back down to 1.33 unless we push above that level. Maybe news might have something to do with it, I have no idea, but we probably will push into 1.33 there. Yeah guys, so we're coming into the end of the stream. Again, not in any trades currently, but hopefully you could get something either later today or tomorrow, and like always I'll let you guys know on the stream. So yeah, I do have a few pairs on my watch list, like I've said. USD on the watch list, hopefully you can get something there later. I'm not looking for the buys, I'm looking for the sells. Again, I was hoping price could actually break through this area and push a little bit higher and then sell it, but obviously failed to do so. So hopefully you can get a retest of that. Then yeah, we'll look to sell the pair right back down. So if I do get anything, I will post it on the Telegram for you as always. USD Cad, look for the break and retest of that low and a push into a 1.26500. But yeah, for me, USD Cad looking good for those sells. Pound USD was on the watch list, or is technically still on there, but I don't think, you know, if we do close back below, I'll probably leave Pound USD alone until we get back above that region, mainly because Pound USD probably will see excuse me, probably will see a move to the downside, but in the way I trade and the pips I'm after, it's not really worthwhile for me to look for sells. You know, there's clearly signs in the 4H that the market is running out of steam here with these sells. It's not quite having the same sell-off as it done previously. It's running out a bit of steam and giving us signs that it does want to reverse, but because of some, you know, some fundamentals happening behind the pound, it's not really looking like it's going to happen just yet. So pound USD might sell off again, and I'm not really looking forward to that. You can see it's just closed there. Below, so unless we push back above pound USD, we'll probably head back down to 1.33. Pound JPY, how that was looking as well. Wow, pound JPY flipped back above. That is interesting. There's like JPY seeing some weakness. So yeah, overall pound JPY, you can see it was looking like, because during the stream price was breaking through on this candle holding below, but that's why it's so important to wait for closed candles, because if we do close If you do pull back before the candle closes, it's actually a false break and not an actual break. So here we had the false break, price failed to close below, pull back up, and now we're still back in the range, and that's a nice bullish engulfing, but again we're still in the range. So you can be looking for price to break the range, something like that, to go up or back down again, basically what I've already just drawn. But yeah, pound JPY is still ranging at this prior low. So again, a lot of fake outs to people on this side potentially could see the move opposite, but we'll have to wait and see. So pound JPY still have a bias for 150 down here, but it might push up first before the sell-off. I'm not really interested in the buys, so we'll wait for the market to retrace, then sell it back down again. But for me, there's nothing there on pound USD and pound JPY, sorry. Eurusd, like I said, if you can break above this, we'll look for continuations higher. Still do have that daily target all the way up there, that support and resistance, never got the retest. So I think we will go and revisit that area soon enough. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. If you can clear that level, great, or revisit this support, great. We'll look for buys. But yeah, right now it's holding as resistance, so probably won't get the buy opportunities today, but maybe tomorrow. There could be something there, or Thursday, so we will have to see for there. But yeah, guys, that's mainly the pairs I'm looking at. Of course, AUSD, we need a lot more for them. Get above that resistance, look for buys. And same for NZUSD, get above that resistance, look for buys. But yeah, my bias is to the upside for these pairs, and if I get anything, guys, I will let you know in the Telegram. But that is the end of the stream, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it and found it useful. If you haven't already, like the video. If you did find it useful and enjoyed the content, subscribe to the channel, guys. Join the family. I do live stream Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Drop analysis on the weekend, and I will be doing educational videos as well for you guys. So yeah, do look out for that. But I hope you all have a great day, and I hope I do see you tomorrow. Stay safe. No problem, Trent's happy to help, bro. No problem. And yeah, watch out for some news events coming out later today, guys. If you are trading on the lower time frames, 5 minute, 1 minute, be careful for the news. It can cause some volatility. So stay safe, guys, and I hope I do see you tomorrow.
Anywhere you go.